The honeymoon phase is officially over, and it's clear to see that Modern Warfare 2 has some serious cracks in its foundation. This isn't to say that the game is bad, though, quite the opposite. I still stand by most of what I said in my official review of the game. And yeah, that video had problems of its own. That's kind of what you get when the creator had no sleep and was working on nothing but passion, not brain function. But what's seriously wrong with this game? Quite a few things, actually. Now that we've had our grubby mitts all over this game, grinding for Orion, playing all the game modes, and suffering through the weapon leveling up system, you can plainly see that some bad patterns emerge from what is a great game. Firstly, the stability issues. Modern Warfare 22 has some pretty horrible connection, party, and just overall staying in the game problems. Now, I'm sure this problem is going to be fixed in the near future, and by the time this video is even out, these issues could be mitigated. But the fact still stands that it's kind of impossible to play this game with friends for more than an hour without everyone having to do a full restart just so you can continue to play. You know, uninterrupted. The freezing, the crashing, the disconnects, oh my. It's really sad that this is just now a common occurrence for video games nowadays. And, you know, not just limited to new CODs. But the fact still stands that it could use a little bit of elbow grease in the stability department. Let's take a brief tangent over to the kill streaks. Like I said, these things are awesome. They're really a display of how great the engine and graphics are to this game. But hot damn is it hard to hit anything when one of these goes off next to you. Because, well,
take me down to the screen shake city where the grass is green and my aim is shitty.
But yeah, if there was anything I'd like to change about them, make this setting in the menu which reduces screen shake go all the way down to 25% instead of 50%, because I really don't think all of this is necessary for the realism of the game. Before we move on, I'd like to thank today's sponsor of this video, me! This channel is pure passion for me and I'd like to make it a reality career. So if you please could, subscribe and like the video so that I can continue to create content that you may enjoy. Thanks. Next on the list is the perk system, which if you watched my previous video on the perk system, you'll see that I really dislike the implementation of the new timed perks. But there's some new things to add, as well as some things to correct about my old video. I was wrong. Yeah, I know, but I was wrong about the earning of these two perks. I said, every player gets the new perks at the same exact time. It's not based on how well you're doing. You can't speed it up in any way to get yours before another person. It's just everyone gets it at the exact same time. This is wrong, but not as wrong as you might think. See, you can earn your perks faster by doing well in the match. It really doesn't do much to shorten the time to get your perks. So all in all, it really doesn't make a difference on how each person will play the match, other than getting the fourth perk maybe a few seconds earlier than others. On top of that, there are new problems that come from the system. One is that you can't edit perks mid-game, only switch perk classes, which wouldn't be that big of a deal if you didn't only have 5 custom perk packages. So you're either stuck with what you got, or you need to pick another class that has the one perk you want. But the rest change. This system also eliminates Specialist Pro. As this person said in the comments of my last video, Specialist Kill Streaks is literally how to make earning perks work. It makes the player stronger because they are the ones that make themselves stronger. It actually makes a difference to do well and play your own way, like a snowball effect. So here's what we're going to do to fix this perk system issue. We're going to keep the 2 perks that you spawn with the same options for those. Then for each 2 kills you get in the current life, you gain a perk up to 5 perks that you handpick yourself. But we don't get rid of kill streaks because we aren't going to let the player get all the perks with Specialist Pro, no matter how good they do. Oh, and they can edit what perks they have in the class during the game, because why the hell wouldn't you be able to? We're going to take a brief segue into weapon leveling because it is and isn't that big of a deal, but it's still kind of ridiculous, specifically with the launchers in this game. I understand that mastery camos are supposed to get the player to, you know, master every weapon, but that does not mean that every launcher has to be level 11 before I can get gold, especially when the challenge is to get 2 kills without dying. I will have nightmares about the Pila rocket launcher, and I can only imagine the horror of the Joker. The RPG and Strela are kind of meant for combat with players instead of kill streaks, so that's not terrible, but the others have such a hard time to kill with a delayed scope and trigger that it kind of hurts. So here's what we do. We change all the rocket launchers challenge level to 5. This way you don't have to listen super closely for an enemy UAV to spawn and rush out to shoot it down. Other than that, I think most of the leveling is fine. Maybe it takes a little bit too long for each level, but they have to make you work for those attachments somehow, right? The UI is next on the chopping block. And, you know, in case you somehow haven't heard, the UI has been front-loaded by the people behind Hulu. Yeah, that's right. Fucking Hulu. What they know about making video game interfaces is beyond me, and obviously beyond them too, as this layout gets more confusing the longer you explore it. There's too many menus hiding away in menus. Why is this prompt here while the others are down here? Who fucking designed this thing? Every Call of Duty game has had the social button be the triangle or Y on controller. Why the hell is it the right stick now? Especially when triangle doesn't even do anything. Some of the elements in this design are way too big and boxy, especially in the social area, where only 4 players are allowed on screen at a time? With a hub? Why? Why is this here? There are so many unnecessary features, which is an insult to injury because there's no barracks in this game. No place to check your playtime or stats. No way to see how many kills you have with the throwing knife or what have you. Here's what we do. We scrap it. There's a lot of things you should change from one Call of Duty to the next. The main menu really shouldn't be one of those. Go back to a super basic menu layout with proper spacing on things. And a place to view your stats, and we can just fix a whole lot along the way. On a positive note for this team of designers, I think the HUD in this game is really great. Like, one of my favorites. So I mean, there's that, but you gotta get your shit together with the UI. Visibility has been a problem since the beta, and even though the little red diamond they added above the enemy players is a good start, they really need to tone down the visibility of it. People can flat out just see others through smoke because of this thing, and otherwise it feels like not showing up at all. Teammates also now have a blue circle above their head, but I've gotten into a few situations where an enemy will be right in front of me without a diamond, and I see a teammate circle behind them and think they're a friendly. Kind of aggravating when it happens, albeit rarely. So here's what we do. We bring back nameplates, because there's really no reason to get rid of them. We also make them more consistent through things, because if I get killed through smoke one more time, I'm gonna scream. Also, please turn down the smoke whenever a kill streak runs through. I can't tell you how many times I've been blinded by an artificial smoke grenade just because a kill streak has cooked up so much dust and debris I can't see shit through. I get it's realistic to have this much smoke in the air after, an explosion, but this is a little bit excessive and not really worth the realism in my opinion. Please change it. Maps are something that I talked about briefly in my review, but didn't go into full detail on them, and now that I've had more time with all of the maps, I can say I was right. Most of these maps are quite literally just fine. Playable. Not really that offensive, and also not spectacular. Sure, some of them come from the depths of hell just to torment me, but most of them are just kind of whatever maps. I'd still like to see that some of the spawning space be reduced so that I can at least get to the middle faster to die, but other than that, just kind of make more maps that are better, and don't base them off of these two. Please. Unfortunately, that's where the list of problems to solve pretty much comes to an end. As mentioned before, games will always be flawed, but these little problems can help the developer know where to go from the start, and how to improve the mess they create. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents on the whole ordeal with Modern Warfare 2. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe and like button below. They really help me out more than you can imagine. Please also let me know what you guys think of this video in the comments below, and if you haven't already, please join our community on Discord, which is also in the description. You can talk to me one-on-one and interact with others in the community. My next video that's planned to come out is the Gold's Guide on Warden, so make sure to look out for that. Anyway, that's about it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.